Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached another installment of this podcast. And I want to welcome you on board to Transformation Greatness. Once again, has decided to team up with the Small Business Network podcast to deliver you this episode, which is going to be titled Have Faith in Your Journey. And I believe this is either episode 61 or 62. Honestly, we've been doing so many, guys, and I actually done lost count. But if you can do me a favor, if you will, as Facebook is reaching out the notifications specifically to the people that I tag, as you're coming on board, if you catch this on the live, put in hashtag live and just let me know exactly where you're tuning in from. And if you should happen to catch this on a replay because you're either out and about taking care of business, by all means put in hashtag replay. And I just want to just say thank you so much in advance for coming on board, and whether it be for a minute or whether you decide to stay on for the whole entire installment, because that lets me know as far as the level of appreciation. And with that, guys, as I mentioned, the topic is going to be have faith in your journey, or having faith in your journey. And this is going to appeal as far as to everyone, whether you're a business owner, whether you're someone that's inspiring to be an entrepreneur, or maybe you're just someone that has a 9 to 5 and you enjoy as far as what you do, or maybe as far as you're in the crossroads and you're really unsure of where your life is at and the direction in which that you want to go. So I really want to just have a conversation with you all, because that is something that a lot of times we all hear as far as with faith, right? And especially along your journey, if you're doing anything or if you're in the midst of creating, that is something that at times can be very, very difficult. And the reason being for that is because faith is something that we cannot touch, we cannot feel, we cannot taste, right? It's nothing tangible. It's something that is beyond us. It is, dare I say, invisible, right? It's something that is held by a creator, a higher power, divine, however you want to frame it. So I wanted to go ahead and have a conversation with that, because I believe in having real conversations, right? I'm a type of individual, if you know me, I'm a very realistic person. I'm not, with the woo-woo and all that other stuff. However, I do believe as far as in universal laws and abundance principles. Why? Because they work. And it doesn't matter what faith or religion in which that you believe, right? All these principles, they actually stem and they're very, very consistent. So let's go ahead and have a conversation. Let's jump right into this. And so far, I'm not seeing anybody hopping on, but it's all good, because one thing I learned, especially with doing any kind of live stream, whether it's one person, whether it's nobody, or 10,000 people, you still have to bring that same effort and energy and excitement and thunder to your presentation. So having faith in your journey, what does that look like? What does that look like? Especially to when you're starting out in the beginning on this journey, or you're starting out in any type of creation, right? That is something that when you are doing it, the expectation is that eventually it will pay off. And I want to go ahead and share a story with you guys, because I remember when I started, especially doing live streams, and even before Facebook, I was actually doing YouTube. And it was very interesting that when I started my journey on YouTube, I was very nervous, very hesitant, stuttering, looking all throughout the camera. I didn't share this story many times, but if this is the first time watching me, I want you to visualize and just think about that first experience that I had, when I was so nervous and I was literally shaking and super nervous and very apprehensive, and was really just doubting myself on whether I had what it takes. Like, who? Me being a speaker? You kidding me, right? How can I measure up to the Les Browns, the John C. Maxwells, right? Tony Robbins, the Dean Graziosis. I mean, these guys are like super light years ahead. And even though I had that, but one thing in which that I learned, especially from my mentor at that time, is that he told me, Shawn, guess what? They all started from somewhere. They all started from somewhere. And with that, hey, what's going on, brother Melvin? And with that, that gave me the hope right there because they're human beings just like you and I. And yet, even though I struggled on that, everything in my body, everything told me as far as just give up, right? You don't got what it takes. But I'm a type of individual that I don't like having regrets. And I'm pretty sure you're like that as well, ladies and gentlemen. You don't believe in as far as, you know, thinking about later on down the line, well, what if I could have done that? What if? And you're the type of individual that it literally bites at you having that regret. So with that, I just kept on continuing to grow and develop and etc., to the point that now my skills has increased. However, I'm still looking to grow even more. Now, you may be watching this and you may be saying to yourself, well, hold on, Shawn, I'm not a speaker. That's not my forte. Okay, fine. But what about as far as if you're an entrepreneur and you're on that journey? And it doesn't matter if you just started yesterday or if you've been in this for about 5 years or 10 years or even 20 years. And you may not be seeing the results in which that you're looking for. But the payoff and the faith is that you're expecting, of course, with the right strategies and opportunities for you to start hitting your marks. Because faith is something that an entrepreneur can have, which is one of our greatest strengths. Because, I like that. Let me pause on that. Melvin raised a good point. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. You are fine. Fret not what other people say or think. Be original, Shawn. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we all understand that, brother Melvin. But how many of us actually get away from that compareditis? Something to really think about. Where does compareditis stem from? For different individuals, it comes in many different levels. Some it could have been because of their upbringing. Some it could have been as far as maybe when they was in college and they was trying to compare themselves as far as with their peers, right? It can fall from many different factors. So yes, you definitely don't want to compare yourself, but we still get caught up in that compareditis because it goes back to this. It all boils down to not having enough faith within ourselves. And so what happens when we're going through this journey, absolutely, when we're going through this journey, whether it be entrepreneurship, whether you own like a Fortune 500 company, whether you're an author, a cook, whether even on your job, having that faith is very, very important because what it's going to do is set the stage for your progression and for your development as well. I'm going to go ahead and share a quick story with you guys. Because of the fact that I had faith and because I was very consistent, being a content creator, being a coach, mentor, etc., what happened was that back in November, I had a business call and actually a blessing with now as far as my business partner, Dr. James McConnell. And he was telling me about the great business opportunity which that he had with the Small Business Network and everything in which that he was doing. And he was looking as far as to expand. Now, I want to be transparent with you all. If I didn't have the faith, if I didn't have the confidence and the skill set and the gifts in which that my creator has given me, I would have blew him off. I'd be like, no, it's not the right time. You know, finances ain't right. Blah, 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 right? I mean, pick one. But when you have faith in the journey, when you put the footwork in, when you put the hours in terms of personal development, in terms of speaking with potential clients and customers, when you learn as far as the strategies, as far as for online as well as offline, and you are putting that work in on a consistent basis, that builds as far as your faith muscles in terms of business And then when an opportunity such as that comes about, you are able to see the vision, right? You no longer have that tunnel vision that, well, I'm just going to just focus on everything in which that I want to do. And then you miss out as far as on, blessings and opportunities that come down the pipeline. Is this making sense to anybody? Is this making sense? So I want you to understand that just like in business, just like in anything in which that you are striving as far as to accomplish in this life, it goes through its seasons. It goes through its different avenues. And that's just the way, just like life, business works. It has its seasons. It has times for you to reap. It has times for you to harvest. It has time for you to study. It has time for you to develop. Then it has times in which for you to take radical, massive action. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, that's in the audience listening, what does having faith in your journey looks like for you? And I'm curious as far as to take a look at your answers here. So let me go ahead, and while you think about that, let me just go ahead and just see what the comments is looking like, and then we'll go ahead and continue on. So let's see here. Welcome here. Let's see here. Melvin, already gave you a shout out, my brother. We have here Mr. Richard Clark in the house, and he says here, let's take a look here. He says, thanks for sharing. How's the weather out there today? I must confess you share a lot of interesting pages, and I love it. Unfortunately, I tried to send you a friend request, and it's not going through. Okay, Richard, I will definitely go ahead and take a look at that, and, we'll definitely have a conversation with that. And let's see here. And we have here Melvin. I totally get it. Melvin, if you can do me a favor, if you can actually share this on the Balanced Entrepreneur, my friend, I would most certainly appreciate that. When it all boils down to it, ladies and gentlemen, the time, effort, the resources, the times that we are investing within ourselves as far as to grow and get better, by the end of the day, it all boils down to having faith in the journey. That's what it really boils all down to. Because there is no guarantee that if you invest in yourself, you invest in the courses, you invest in the mentors, you invest in doing the strategies, you invest in speaking with people, you invest as far as with spending time, right? You invest as far as in adding value in people's lives. There is no guarantee, right, that things is going to pay off for you the way that you want it to. So if that's the case, then Shawn, I hear somebody saying, if that's the case, then why do it? Because it all boils down to faith. You have faith that if you see, I'm just throwing somebody out there, if you see as far as what the result is from what Dr. James is doing and the consistency in which that he's doing, right, and the results in which that he's getting, you are banking and having faith on, well, shoot, if he's doing it, then I can do it too. Or how about this one? Or how about as far as that, if you attend Eric Thomas trainings and you invest as far as in this trainings, and if you follow the blueprint in which that he gives you, you are banking and you having faith that as you're going through the journey and as long as you're doing the work, that is going to go ahead and pay off. So by the end of the day, no matter how much you slice it or dice it, right, faith is something that's so huge. And it's so huge to the point that it doesn't matter if you're an atheist, it doesn't matter if you're agnostic, doesn't matter as far as you're a Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Jew, doesn't make a difference. In all of that I just mentioned, faith is supreme. Why? Because of the fact you need it, especially too, if you're going to build this perseverance and tenacity muscle, in which something that you need to be an entrepreneur, by the way. But that faith is very, very important. And it's unfortunate when you see individuals that they're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you have a conversation with them, you ask them, hey, what's going on how's things is going? And you just hear it as far as in their tone of voice. You hear as far as that they lost their faith. You hear that they lost their will. You hear that as far as that they had that passion, that thunder, and that excitement. And then life just hit them. They have their head down. And they really can't look at you in the face. I speak to people online as well as offline. And especially with everything which is going on right now. You can tell a lot of people's faith are wavered, especially with everything which is going on. And that's why as an entrepreneur, someone that is, I don't even want to say goal oriented, but someone that is determined as far as to make an impact and a legacy and create your legacy in this world. That's why your faith is so important. Why? Once again, because of the fact there are individuals that are watching you. I had a conversation with a gentleman earlier by the name of JB from Champion Mindsets. And I want to give you an example of having faith in your journey. This was a gentleman that I remember about, I think 2 or 3 years ago. We were speaking and he was telling me about Champion Mindsets. And if you don't know what Champion Mindset is, that's basically a program in which that they help coaches, speakers really get out there and craft their message and their story. And they help them as far as to be able to get on stages and events and different things like that. And so we picked up the conversation where we left off at today. And he's told me, in his words, not mine, I'm not making this up. He said, you know something, Shawn? I love the consistency. I've seen as far as like your YouTubes, your Instagrams, your Facebook Lives, your LinkedIn's, and I just love as far as the message. I love how the way that you are very engaging and interactive, and I'm absolutely loving it, man. I just want to know as far as how can we take that talent to really help you take it to the next level. Now, you may be saying to yourself again, well, I'm not a speaker. That's not the point of me telling you that story. The point is that when you have faith in your journey, and when you continue to do the work, you have individuals such as JB, you would get their attention. Such as Dr. James McConnell, you would get his attention. Such as whoever's doing anything great in this world, they look for individuals like that are consistent, that have faith in themselves, and that are consistent. Even when life knocks them down, even when things happen, and trust me, guys, I know about that because not too long ago, I remember my aunt, she was in the hospital, and her prognosis wasn't good. I'll put it that way. Thank God that she's out and she's home, but even then, I still had the faith to keep on going. Not to say as far as that, I didn't love her or anything like that. That wasn't the case. But still having that faith and knowing that in spite of what's happening, what's going on in my outside world, in spite of what's going on with my family, yes, it can hurt. I'm not saying to be heartless. That's not what I'm saying. But the faith is that if I continue to do the work and I continue to show up and I continue to build and grow and get better, then guess what? I am making them proud. And then guess what? That's giving them the faith like, wow, I see nephew, I see my son, I see my grandson, my granddaughter filling the blanks. I see them as far as keep on going in spite of what's happening. Wow, if they can do it, then can I do it too? That's what you want to aspire to be. And believe me, when people look at you in that light, Dr. James can attest to this, you don't have to worry about as far as people not getting in contact with you. They will. Why? Because they see something about you. Is this making sense here? So let me take a look at the comments here because I want you guys to digest it. I know I said a lot, so I really want you guys to digest that. So let me take a look at your comments and then we'll continue on. So let's see here. So we got here Dr. James McConnell. Welcome, mad scientist. He says, let's rock. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, sir. What's up? Dr. James, also, if you can do me a favor, if you can go ahead and share this out to our respective groups. I want to take a little time on this because I want as many people on as possible, because I'm very, very curious as far as how's having faith in their journey is being for them. Okay, how did this happen? All right, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, you weren't supposed to see all that. I apologize, but this is live, so it's all good. All good. So let's see here. We are trying to help others do the same. Yes, indeed. And we have Roosevelt in the house. What's going on, brother? Welcome. So I'm just giving it a few seconds here because I want to know, what does having faith in your journey looks like? Would someone would like to comment on that? Good grape juice, by the way. Thank you so much for the likes, guys. Do me a favor as well. If you're finding value on this, and if you feel someone needs to hear this, please go ahead and tag them in the comment section. And also, please like and go ahead and share this out. Please go ahead and like and share this out, because this is something that's needed. And I remember times where I was like real down and out. Like, I'm like, man, I don't know, man. This entrepreneur thing is worth it. You know, like, I'm busting my butt. I'm putting in the work. I ain't seeing nothing. I ain't making a dime. No one is really paying attention to what I got to say. And blah, 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 fill in the blanks, right? All that inner negative self-talk, right? That's coming in my spirit. And thank God for individuals such as Dr. James McConnell and Sister Carrie that are willing to have the courage, by the way, to continue to be consistent and to create content that's beneficial and valuable. Because if it wasn't individuals like them, man, I would have gave up a long time ago, and I would have just been stuck in the 9 to 5 the employee mentality, which, by the way, if that's you and you love what you do and you say entrepreneur is not for me, fantastic. But I will also challenge you in this. What other skills do you have? Because you're very creative as a human being. You are not, and I'm going to say this, and I really don't know as far as how people are going to take it, but you're not designed just to be on this planet, just to pay bills and die. To be able to work for someone else and to do 40 hours a week for 40 years, and then having the faith that you even want to get 40% of your pension and which that you done saved up for towards retirement. Nah. Sorry, guys. Those days is over with. Just look around. We have artificial intelligence. Think about that. Think about that as far as how many corporations had the faith and said, you know what, we're going to create AI because we believe deep down, right, that that it's time. Secondly, it will be more productive and cost efficient. And 3, for it to really have a greater benefit. Talk about that, having faith as far as in these corporations in their journeys. So in closing, guys, there's so much more in which I can say on this, but I would like to go ahead and leave you all with this. If you're an individual and you're at the crossroads, or you're someone that you're saying like, you know what, my faith is wavering, I really don't know the next steps, the next direction, which way I want to go. I know I got skills, man, but you know, I just don't know how to craft it out. I just need a strategy, man. And I just need like a go-to person. Then I would love to have a conversation with you. And let's have a 30-minute consultation. No cost whatsoever. No cost. and let's really work together. The only condition is you gotta be serious, man. Because the stuff that I'm gonna put you on to, it works. It works. How I know it works? You're looking at it. So with that, I want to thank everyone as far as that decided to come on and really offer your time this evening. I definitely do appreciate it. Transformation Greatness and the Small Business Network podcast. This has been an absolute pleasure to give you guys so much more value. And stay tuned as well, because this Saturday we're going to be rocking and rolling. So we're going to be doing something very, very nice. It's going to be a packed house, and I just highly recommend for you to come check us out. And that's going to be this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check your local listens, and also be on the lookout as well, because we have a whole lot of great stuff going on, guys. So, I mean, hey, if you're interested and you'd like to know as far as more about that, please feel free to reach out to myself or to my business partner, Dr. James McConnell, also known as James MBC. And with that, if what I stated on here either motivated, transformed, or inspired at least one person, then may God be the glory, and we take no credit for absolutely none of it. Until then, you're all amazing. I appreciate your time. By His grace and mercy, look forward to seeing you all on the next episode. Peace and love, family. Thank you.